Conflict. As the world teetered on the brink of anarchy, a new hope arose. An elite international task force charged with ending the war and restoring liberty to all nations.
Well, it came from a really passionate group of people. As you know, we moved on from Titan, team got redistributed, went different directions, but a small core stuck around to figure out a new project, and we explored a lot of different ideas. We went through sort of an ideation phase where it's like, well, what do we want to work on next? And tried some different things in other directions, and right away when we started working on the Overwatch idea, it became instantly everybody's favorite thing to do, and it sort of immediately shut down any other direction. I've never seen a team so unanimously just coalesce around an idea like we did the Overwatch idea. Yeah, we have a lead concept artist by the name of Arnold Sang, and this guy's amazing. He drew all this stuff behind me, and the stuff that comes out of his mind and how he's able to express it on paper is pretty amazing. So one day he showed us this picture that was, you know, in a gorilla, but he was in a spacesuit and he had glasses on, and you know, we asked Arnold, well, what's up with that guy? And he's like, well, he's from the moon. And it was one of those moments where it didn't make a lot of sense to us in the immediate moment when we started to think logically about, you know, how does this make sense and fit into our universe. Instead, it instantly inspired us that that's our universe, it has to make sense, it's our job to figure out how that makes sense because we want him in the game. So I think you find the team inspiring each other in many ways, so that Arnold story I think is a great example. That was the team size being 6v6 was something we put a lot of time and a lot of thought in. It wasn't just an arbitrary number we came up with. So what we found was, as we experimented with larger team sizes, we felt that there was an element of chaos going on that detracted from what we wanted this game to be, which was like a multiplayer, team-based action shooter. It was no longer team-based when it was a larger team size. We found that people were just doing their best to get as many kills as they could before they would die and then respawn. And equally concerning to us was when the team size got to be too small. When the team size was too small, suddenly you as an individual were so important to your team that you better be good and you better be doing the right things. And we felt that the team dynamic too quickly turned toxic or caustic. And we wanted to avoid that sort of negative team interaction where, you know, oh, come on, Jeremy, you're bringing us down, why aren't you good enough? It's just the opposite, by the way. Like, he's one of the best players of Overwatch, and I'm like usually the, you know, the sore thumb in the group. But what we found with 6v6 for Overwatch, in the way that our game plays, 6v6 was sort of this magic number where you as an individual, if you were really contributing at a high level, could turn the tide of battle. Like a single really good player could take an objective or press the attack for the team or break the enemy team's defense. So that was really amazing. Yet on the other side of the coin, if you as an individual were struggling or, you know, having an off night, or maybe you're not a great player, or maybe you went AFK, your team could still win and play very successfully despite your negative contribution to the team. So that was ultimately what we were looking for, was a team size that felt very forgiving, yet made you as an individual feel like a hero and feel like you were contributing. Yeah, there's actually, there's 3 maps and 2 game modes available here at BlizzCon. So Hanamura and Temple of Anubis are each attack-defend maps, and they each have 2 capture points that the players sort of fight over. We have a 3rd map here called King's Row. That's a hybrid map. So the first objective in King's Row is like Temple of Anubis or Hanamura, in that it's a control point attack-defend moment. But as soon as the attackers capture the objective, it releases this EMP. So the story that's going on in King's Row is that the attackers are trying to capture control of an EMP and then escort it into this robot city to shut the robot city down. And the defenders are trying to prevent that from happening. So it's a really fun hybrid game mode that allows classes to kind of play in different ways and allow different things to evolve in the match. Yeah, I think, well, early on we always recommend to players, in order for them to, get, the hang of Overwatch, it's like pick somebody and just stick with them for, 2 or 3 matches, kind of get what's going on. Later, as you're more experienced, we actually encourage the opposite, hero switch for the situation. Okay, I see a Torbjorn turret over there. Like, what would you do to take out a Torbjorn turret?
Switch to Tracer, probably.
Yeah.
Probably things are different. But you get your ults up, and then you can blink, 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 drop that time bomb with that pulse bomb and recall, and I have my turret.
Yeah, but you could also switch to like a Pharah as another example. You could splash damage the turret. Hanzo's got his scatter shot arrow, so he could shoot it around a hall. And yeah, so later on, as you become more experienced at Overwatch, we actually encourage, hero switch to fit the situation, to help your team. What does your team need right now? And that's what we do on the team, is we're constantly. Yes, we will definitely have a spectator mode. In fact, we're working on that right now. In terms of esports, early on we said we're not announcing anything about esports. That's not really the focus. Our focus right now is making an awesome team-based multiplayer shooter that's very approachable to a wide audience, and we wanted to feature, this most dynamic cast of heroes that you've ever seen. That was our initial focus, and we wanted to make that experience be as completely fun on its own as it could be. With that said, the team, a couple months ago, somebody on the team started a tournament, and there's like 70 of us on the team, and the tournament became this amazing spectacle to watch, where some guys on the team, at first we were just watching the matches, and then a couple of our developers started shoutcasting it, just for fun, and they ended up getting really good at shoutcasting. Fast forward a couple months later into the tournament, we had other people from other teams at Blizzard, contacting us like, hey, is there a tournament tonight? Are there any seats? Can I sit there? And so it attracted a very large audience. So while we're not announcing anything in particular about esports today, I can say emphatically this game is going to be an esport whether it wants to or not.